Welcome in, everybody. So, I'm breaking another unwritten rule this week. We already did the GT40 in S-Class, and now we're going down to A-Class, and we're taking out the Alfa 33 Stradale. If you drive this thing online, people hate you. It is that good. The combo of acceleration, braking, and handling is off the charts. And to make matters even worse, I'm downloading a leaderboard tune with my fat, sweaty, try-hard fingers. And we're gonna start off the video at Rio, but we're not really gonna start the race because, well, the toilet got fucking stuffed. I mean, I don't know how else to explain what the hell just happened there. Eventually, all the shits made it down the toilet and the pipes were clear. But that's basically all that happened that race. First place just went off on their own while everyone else got stuck at the start. We move over to Indy, where a little Fiat has apparently waged war against every single car going around corner 2. So that's always great to see. Luckily, we made it through okay. And then we've got a Porsche facing the wrong direction on a straight. Who knows what's going on? It's Forza. Hopefully, that is the last we see of the crashing going on. Oh, no, there's just this fucking idiot. Yep, gotta love it. It continues. Lovely. Good news, we passed the Fiat, though. So, you know, we're finding little silver linings. But for those of you guys that might not know, in Forza, there are these things called leaderboard cars. And these are cars that are way and above better than the rest. They tend to perform better than all the other cars online. And if you use them in online races, you're looked down upon in shame, basically, and the Alfa is one of them, especially in A-Class. The top speed isn't quite there, so you'll see on the straights, I tend to lose out to the other cars, but through the corners, it is absolutely unrivaled, so if you drive it halfway decently, you should finish the race at the front of the pack. So for that reason, I'm going to be starting each of these races from the back, and see what happens. People tend to treat you a little differently when you drive these cars. Like if you saw the first episode of the GT40 of the series, you would have seen a guy that relentlessly tried to ram me and sought me out every single race to do so. In this episode, hopefully we don't see any of that, but we will definitely see some people treating me a little bit more physically, I guess we'll say. Back to the racing though, we've skipped to the final lap of 3. We're entering the final straight and we've got the run on the BMW, but remember before I said the top speed is not too great on this Alfa, so we're going to get alongside him and then that top speed in the BMW is going to take it across the line in second place. We are going to get third from the back of the pack though, or almost the back of the pack. I think there was one guy behind us. We move on to Catalunya where a Jeep is just facing the wall. Very typical Forza Jeep behavior, I must say. And we've got a Ferrari off in the sand, so we're going to grab one position very early. That's going to put us up into 17th out of 20th. We've got a lot of positions to go. We've got a Mustang right up in front as we go under the bridge into the second carousel here. To the right, we're going to have a look up the inside of the Camaro and gaining a very easy 3 places. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you stay on the track in Forza, unlike this guy in the yellow car, no clue what that thing was. If you stay on the track, you will gain places, and we're already up into 12th place. You can go ahead and make that another couple positions gained as the Ford Mustang goes straight for the Chevy. A little Ford-Chevy rivalry. Unfortunately, they got caught comparing dick sizes and it got them stuck in the sand, so no good deal for them. But for us, we're up into 8th place. And I think pretty much everyone in the lobby would agree that the guy in the Alfa probably has the tiniest cock. But that is not the question we're trying to answer here. The question we're trying to answer here is why is the Camaro pushing me so far right, and why is this Russian guy in a Ford Mustang and rejoining the track at such a ridiculous angle? And at this point, I would expect him to give up his position and just let me on through, but he's going to go ahead and tap me wide. And so I'm going to go for the kill on him. And of course, forget my car weighs 2 pounds. So Vladimir Putin was able to escape my grasp once again, and there's the Jeep out of nowhere, drifting it like an absolute savage. Well done, sir. Love to see it. We picked things back up on lap 2, going around turn 1. A couple of guys were off in the sand, so picking up a couple of easy positions, and now tiptoeing my way through a group of a few different cars, getting ahead of the Porsche up into 10th place from, what were we in, 17th? So a much needed momentum shift heading into the hairpin again, and look at this, the Russian goes wide again, and rejoins the track directly into the Ferrari. So if you've learned anything from watching this video, it's that Vladimir Putin is unable to drive a vehicle and should definitely lose his license if he even has one. But we end up finishing this one in 6th place. Yeah, I guess on second thought, Big Vlad's probably got the good old boys in the KGB driving him around, so that would explain the severe lack of skill when it comes to driving. Luckily, we're not going to have to deal with them anymore. We're over to Silverstone, home of the British Grand Prix, one of my favorite tracks in the world, and apologies for the voices you hear in the background. Sometimes I forget to mute the lobby, although this Australian guy was pretty funny. He was just driving around calling everybody a cunt, so in a way, it was a blessing that I forgot to mute everybody. As you can see, this is one of the shorter variations, and oh my god, a cone just got punted.
40, 50 feet, why don't you turn around and let
Anyways, like I was saying though, with this shorter variation, we skip Maggots and Beckett's, which is one of my favorite sequences of corners of all time. But coming off the hanger straight and into stow is pretty fun too. We skip to lap 3, the beginning part of the lap, and we're still behind the Camaro in 6th place. A little bit of smoke being laid down out in front from the old classic car who has been spun by the Camaro. That's going to end his race nice and early and slow down the Camaro as well at that. As we head down the hanger straight for the 3rd time out of 5 laps, we've got about a 4-second gap to 5th place, so that's nice and big, which is nice because at the end of these straights, we are going to be losing time, and around Stowe, we're going to make all of that time back up, reeling in the tail of that Shelby Cobra and starting to put some pressure on the top 3. Who, by the way, are going to show off some massive testicles, going straight up 3 wide into Vale and around Club. We're going to settle into a 2x2 formation, getting tapped a little wide and then coming back onto the track in 3rd place, getting ahead of the Shelby Cobra and starting lap 4. Driving through Abbey and Farm now, we're very big in the rear view mirror of Sheiksta, and the Shelby Cobra has not quite given up yet, poking up along the left side. Sheiksta leaves just enough space for the Alfa to fit into an Alfa Stradale, perfectly sized space. The Cobra being the one gaining the most from the battling, moving from 4th up into 2nd place and not leaving me a whole lot of space on that inside, which causes me to lose control of the car for a split second and drop down into 4th place, which I probably would have anyways, considering the top speed isn't quite all there in the Alfa. But this is what made this race so great. We were battling for position the entire time we were going around the track, and coming through the final chicane, we are all bunched up and ready to start the final lap. All right, around Club, I'm gonna look up the inside of the Camaro and then back out. I think that was rightfully his corner, but I did gain a couple of positions out of it up into 2nd place, so it wasn't a total loss. Around Abbey for the final time, the top 3 within half a second of each other and only 0.2 behind the Camaro in front. He's going to brake a little early. I'm going to move over to the left to hopefully get a better line out of the hairpin. And on the shortcut towards the hanger straight, I've successfully claimed 1st place, but only for a second because I moved to the left to try to take a better line onto the straight. I end up clipping the Camaro. That might have been my fault. I didn't really hold my line all that well and kind of swerved to the left, so I'll just go ahead and chalk that one up on myself. We're back in our usual position, though, that we have been for the past couple of laps. 4th place, heading into the chicane. Side by side with the Holden, almost alongside the Camaro as well. He goes wide. I'm on the inside of the Holden, through Club and onto the final straight. It looks like I've got 2nd place, and there it is. You know, there can be a lot of garbage racing, but every once in a while in Forza, you get a really good one like that one at Silverstone, and it makes it all worth it. So here at Road America, there's a guy showing us how to expertly take turn 1, and then down turn 3, a Charger shows us how to expertly take turn 3. So this video has basically turned into a tutorial Don't listen to any of it, and definitely don't take any notes. We've got another guy off into the tire barrier on the right side, and into the right-hander, we're going to go ahead and overtake the muscle car on the right side, and that's up into 16th place we go. Now we're behind the Camaro, having a look up the inside and going into the carousel. We're going to brave it along the outside and get the move done up into 15th place. So a few good positions and overtakes made here on the first couple of corners. We've got the Ferrari up ahead, just got pushed off into the grass, and then he's going to do the same to me into the braking zone. I'm losing all brakes. That sends me off into the safety area here, and it looks like the NSX had a similar problem trying to rejoin the track from the grassy area. We're alongside an Aston Martin. Gotta love that British Racing green, and down the straight we get ahead up into 15th place where we were before the little incident with the Ferrari. So no harm, no foul, but we do have to make a pass on the muscle car again, and that just about completes lap 1 of 2, but not before I drop a couple of tires onto the grass, which slows my momentum onto the final straight, and then an NSX out of nowhere rejoins the track, and I'm being told we have live feed from his living room. Yep, there he is. He is a box of fucking rocks for that one. Well done, sir. Clearly, brain cells off the charts. ACT 36 out of 36. They do not come much smarter than that guy, I'll tell you that much. And luckily, the Forza gods were looking down on me. We were able to keep racing. No major crash happened. And we've caught up to the Ferrari, who ended up pushing me off a little earlier in the race. So let's see if we can get a nice clean move done on him. 3 wide going into the carousel under the Johnsonville Bridge. A little bit of a tap. That's why it's so dangerous to go around the outside. Staying close behind, waiting for that space on the inside to open up. There it is on the accelerator, full throttle under the bridge, braking at the white line. Ferrari up the inside. I'm going to pin him narrow, coming out of the corner and onto the straight, slowing his momentum down. I've got all that acceleration in this Alfa. Believe it or not, this actually isn't fast forwarded. The haters will say I'm lying. We've only got a couple more corners to go. Let's see if we can grab another position, and we can, because this guy is just flipped over. Possibly the most Forza thing I've ever seen. And it's going to be a 7th place. Love those free positions. And we'll finish this video up in a Yabba Dabba Do at Yas Marina. And I think we might need to get the plunger out for this one too, because we've got another stuffed toilet here. It always happens. The chicane is an absolute mess. Luckily, not as bad as it was at Rio. It didn't get totally stuffed. No plumbers were needed for this one, but we all got through just fine. And this race is an example of just how good this Alfa is. What happens at the end of this race should never happen for a player of my caliber, okay? To describe my skill, I would use the words mediocre, mid-tier, not very good, definitely not the best. So we'll see what happens. But to foreshadow a little bit, it's lap 1. We started in 17th place, and I'm already up into 7th. We can make that 6th place as I get the move done on the Ferrari there. Now we're going to skip ahead to the end of lap 2, and I found another Alfa. We definitely have different tunes. I think I've got the better top speed, or he also could have been missing shifts down the straight. But regardless, I've got the acceleration down the straight on him, and I will win that drag race to the left-hander. But I think I also have the better brakes, because he's going to send me a little wide here over these rumble strips that basically act like super glue. If you put a tire on those things, it will slow you down immediately. Unfortunately, that invites the Ferrari right back up into the race, and I receive a tap in the back from him, unsettling the car. I am able to save it just fine, and we keep 5th place. And then we've got a Datsun up ahead that almost collects me. I am getting pretty lucky here in a couple of these situations, which is making me think a last to first might be in the cards. The Alfa up front is going to do all he can to try to stop that, though, as he makes a massive cut, which is what Yas Marina is known for in Forza. The cutting opportunities are just off the charts. He is going to end up making a big mistake, flying into the Ferrari in front and ending his race pretty early. Then the opportunity presents itself to go for that second place position up the inside of the Ferrari, and we get it done. All right, so here we go. Last lap, 6 out of 6, second place, only the Mazda RX-7 ahead to go. He's also gonna make a couple of cuts here at Yas Marina. Beautiful, love to see it, making it hard on me. The RX-7 knows that he needs to build as big a lead as possible going into the hotel section, because that is where the Alfa is going to shine its brightest. Into the right-hander, the Mazda already makes a mistake, going way too deep, missing the apex. That gets me up alongside him. We end up making contact as I'm not willing to give up any more space on the outside. It's a drag race to the hairpin. I need to gain some ground or else he's gonna have the inside for it. And it looks like I've done just enough, but he is gonna look for that move, backing out, and it looks like I've got the position. It's gonna be a first place. Front to back, last to first, this car makes me feel like an absolute god. It's too bad I don't drive like this all the time. And now here are a couple clips just to finish off the video that I mentioned earlier. So Monza through the chicane, and it's gonna be a nasty triple overtake. Have a look at that. A couple of you guys might need to change your pants after that one. Now we go back to Road America for a different race than the one that we saw earlier. We've got a couple of guys that just rejoined the track, clearly had just gotten into some kind of argument. Now the Alfa is going to pull over to the right side and then just slam the brakes. 10 out of 10 brake check right there. Never saw it coming. I was laughing my ass off when I saw that one happen real time. And now for the last clip. In a second, I have a look behind me because there's a muscle car back there that's been acting a little funny, and he's gonna go for an absolute demolition derby. That is a strike in bowling if I've ever seen one. A massive hit. And I couldn't think of a better way to end the video. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully you got a laugh out of it. Anytime you're starting from the back, you are bound to have some funny moments. And I'll talk to you all very soon. All right, bye everybody.